Hey, welcome to Alternative. My name's William, and I've got some new alternative music I want to talk about. These are albums from back in February. I'm rounding up the group of February releases that I want to talk about. I've already done a part 1 of February releases. I spent way too long talking about those albums. It was an absolute pain to edit that video. I want to keep it tight. You know, I get carried away talking about the music, but at the end of the day, I just want this to be casual and quick and easy on me, easy on you. So without further ado, let's jump into this group. Malat is kicking us off. Her latest album, Light Hit My Face Like a Straight Right. Malat, an Australian artist. She's got this kind of experimental electronic pop sound. Her single off this album, Pavement, has blown me away. It uses multiple samples to craft one hell of a hook. An amazing song, the absolute top-notch discovery off this album for me. Most of the rest of the stuff, not really up my alley. I'm looking for the hooks, and she ain't delivering on this album. That's not her goal. She's crafting environments, playing around and doing some cool stuff, but for the most part, this isn't landing with me. I'm just very grateful to have Pavement here. And, you know, the song Hideaway has some catch to it for sure. The late album track, The Worst Thing I Would Ever Do, holds some emotional grit to it that definitely leaves a bit of a mark on me as well. Next up, we have a band called The Nightmares. Fire in Heaven is the album name. The Nightmares are a small band with under 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. They, on their bio, described as noir pop. They're from the UK. This is their sophomore album. And yeah, you know, they have a promising sound for a very small band. The first half of this album provides the goods. I'd say stick to that. The second half definitely pales in comparison, but the whole first half has me pretty impressed, especially Letting It All Go, Hell Is Gonna Happen. Dead Roses is beautiful. They have some real promise to show off here, and I'm glad I discovered these guys. Definitely worth checking out, at least those few songs I mentioned. Moving on, we have another very small artist, Jimmy and the Veil, the album The Wreckage, the debut album from this artist. It's an emo alternative sound. The vocals give me hints of the band Thursday. And similar to a lot of Thursday's music, I do struggle with these songs. You can clearly feel the influence from a lot of the type of music I listen to, the emo alternative rock sound that I love, and yeah, it's throughout this album. But the songs are a little weak for the most part. Maybe the production, the vocals, just not really holding enough of that oomph for me. And, you know, the melodies at the end of the day aren't quite hitting me too hard. But it is a solid enough showing. Definitely worth giving a shout out to this artist that doesn't have much attention on him. The song that I think came across my radar first, the closer, Satellite Daydream. I'd recommend that one. Check that out, see what you think. And we're going to continue with some lesser known artists into an artist by the name of Bear Teeth with an F. This is an EP by Bear Teeth called Wrong Turns. Now this guy, if you go to his Instagram page, it's all towards children's books. He's an Australian children's book author. So no music related stuff on his Instagram. This is just a side studio thing he does. But lots of promise from this guy, and these 5 songs shows off an incredible vocal talent. The production's very nice, and the songs are nice. There's a lot of promise within these songs, yet they don't quite deliver. I'd say Some Sun comes the closest to really hitting the mark for me. Let me wind that back. Wrong Turns, that one holds the most melodic pull to it. Such a feel to that song. Very nice stuff. And yeah, really liking what I'm hearing from him. He's been releasing some other singles since this EP, so it looks like he's staying busy with the music. Definitely an artist to check out if you're into the deeper, throatier vocals, moodier sound. Really cool stuff. Okay, now we have a group that has a bit more attention on them. The band Eider, the duo, I should say. They're from the UK. Their new album, Late to the World. This female duo grabbed my attention some years back. Their song Mirror is incredible. One of the most inspiring pop songs of my life. It is such a feeler of a song. They've had my attention ever since, and this new album is great. Their song off this one, Know How It Hurts, made my top 100 last year. A very, very special song. It's a song that, if I could go back, I'd rank higher on my top 100 because of all the songs on my 100 from last year. It's one that I continue to come back to more than a lot of the others. They do the emotional pop sound so well. Know How It Hurts is right on the nose of what I love about them. But they show off that they can do more upbeat pop stuff as well. You Don't Know How to Drive is a great example of that. All around a really solid album. Very happy with what Eider has given us here. Next up, we're looking at the emo rock band Anxious with their latest album, Bambi. Now, this band, a bit of a struggle for me. This emo rock sound, I love the emo, but where's the pop energy? These guys aren't too focused on making catchy songs. They got their hooks here, but I think largely these songs, outside of the singles, stray away from really delivering a big hook power. But the single Never Said, the opening track, that one hits it home. A really cool song. I love the vocalist's throaty yelling on Never Said, and it kind of splits with some softer cleans. It's a really cool blend there. And they keep the energy up on these songs that just get a little hard for me to grasp. They slip through my fingers, and it's really Never Said that's the song that I'm going to be holding on to from this album. And I mean, you can't deny the hook power of Some Girls, another single. It's not a song that I guess cuts into me quite as much as Never Said. I think they're doing the emo rock sound really well. I know there's a lot of people out there who love these guys a lot more than I do, who aren't so hung up on their catchy hooks like I am. Okay, a band that is good at being heavy and good at being pretty catchy as well, Silverstein. They are back yet again. These guys just have never stopped pumping out the music over their, over 20 years career here. Anti-Bloom is their latest album. I've been following Silverstein since the mid-2000s. And over the years, they've lost a bit of spark for me, but they're still going strong, man. And it's hard to complain about a group of songs like this. They've done good here. They've done real good. You can rely on these guys for some heavy material that delivers the hooks. It doesn't get much more complicated than that. Most of it doesn't really knock me off my feet, but it's a good time nonetheless. And Stress really does land a mark on me. This song is just all out from Shane Todd, the vocalist. This guy absolutely kills it on this song. He is, the screamer and the clean vocalist. He has such a range, this guy, and to hear him go all out on the screams on this song, balanced with some cleans in there, but it is the screams in Stress that leave the big mark on you. The hook really is probably the catchiest hook of the album here. I hesitate to call it an album. Actually, I believe it is more of an EP, 22 minutes, 8 songs. I think they might have a second one coming this year, but nonetheless, Stress, a screamo hook that is so catchy and just all out at you. I love it, and really exciting to hear something like that from them. Glad they're still making me feel something at this stage in their career. Next up, we have the Japanese pop rock band One OK Rock, or is it One Ok Rock? I think it's One OK Rock. That's what I'm going to stick with. Their album Detox, this band I've been aware of for about 10 years now. They're awesome. They've definitely taken on a poppier sound since when I first discovered them. But they're still packing in some rock energy, and this album is pretty good. Plus Matter, Positive Matter, however you want to call it, is the single that really jumped out to me leading up to this. It made my top 10 of the month when it came out. It's kind of cheesy, but it's big and inspirational and catchy, man. That's what these guys do. I think at their best, they provide big, inspirational pop rock music. The opener Nasty on this album I thought was a bit obnoxious on my first couple listens, but it's actually a super infectious and really fun song. Are there any others that I find are worth much mention. I think when it comes to the big sap fest of the album, this can't be us. It's just a piano-led slow song that, yuck. I do not like it. I don't know what they're doing with that one. And yeah, looking through the rest of the tracks here, nothing really jumping off the pages. Oh yeah, that one really left a mark on me. But they got a good sound. I'm decently impressed with these guys. They're worth keeping an eye on because, well, you know what? I'm trying to think of a reason why they're worth keeping an eye on. Are they past the point in their career where they're going to give us anything truly impactful? I'm still holding out hope for One Ok Rock to really leave a mark on me in the future. If not, at least I can depend on them for some easily digestible pop rock music, whatever. Now, a band that is still very much landing their mark, Architects. Metalcore band Architects. Their new album, The Sky, the Earth, and All Between, one of my favorite metalcore bands. These guys have perfected the balance of absolute all-out intense screamo with some massive hooks. The hook power these guys deliver is so good, and the screams are brutal. They just deliver some amazing breakdowns and heavy moments, and then fly right into just an off-your-feet hook. And this album delivers. Evil Eyes, especially. What they do with that one is really exciting. The goodbye, woo, man, it is so freaking cool. And it flies into this chorus that really, like I said, that off-your-feet energy and a wonderful showing of frontman Sam's, can't remember his last name, his vocal talent. He screams and then goes into these amazing cleans. The guy is just insane. And yeah, really a very strong showing from them here on this album. No complaints from Architects. Heavy, catchy. These guys just know how to do it. Matilda Mann, her album rocks well. This is my first album with this UK singer-songwriter. She caught me with her song Say It Back. So good. Such a great, catchy pop song. An absolute earworm of a chorus that gets into my gut, and woo, I love it. It is a shame that she takes the sad girl singer-songwriter route with pretty much everything else here. Like, I'll give a shout out to See You Later. That song, you know what it does differently than a lot of these songs that just go over my head? It brings in the drums. When I find she brings in the drum beat, I'm interested. But a lot of these that don't have the drums, and it's just her whispery, soft vocals that are perfectly pleasant, but forgettable, generic in a way. It's like, I've heard this. I don't know if you've heard of Lexi Carroll, not the biggest name in the singer-songwriter scene, but like that. Kind of Phoebe Bridgers, I guess, as well, but just this voice that, while lovely, just doesn't hold much uniqueness to it and bores the hell out of me. She certainly got the heart here. I'm glad I made myself give this album a couple more listens through, because I admire the feeling, but I'm just not really sinking into most of these. Like I said, man, give me that drum beat, pick it up a little, and I'm interested. I think Say It Back is just such a hit. And I'll be keeping an eye on her to see if she can deliver more like that, or maybe I can find a softer song from her that really does wash over me. But most of this stuff just bores me. But still, showing some real promise from Matilda Mann. Say It Back. Go check it out. Now, moving on, we have another artist that I struggle with a bit, Barty Strange. His album Horror. How would we define this type of music? It's alternative rock, urban alternative. This guy's got his flavor. Sober would probably be my takeaway from this album. It's hard to be sober. It's cool. This album across the board, it's a cool album. Just not the big hook power that I'm looking for the most part. I will say we got the closing track, Backseat Banton. That is another standout. I'm just looking for that pick-me-up, that hook that can get me moving a bit more, and that one definitely holds that energy. It's a tasteful group of songs. It just doesn't hold the big outright infectiousness that I'm looking for in my favorite music. Okay, let's go back to another artist that no one has heard of. This would be the smallest artist on this this group that I'm talking about, Taylor Crawford, with under 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Don't know how I found him, probably through my Discover Weekly, I suppose. I believe it might have been his song. Oh yes, it was Blonde off this album that first came across my radar. It's a cool song. A little hard for me to pin this guy's sound. Indie with, I don't know, traces of R&B, jazzy elements, which are genres I stay away from for the most part. But he brings some of his own flavor here, and the song Understand, the title track, that one wins me over. It spends the first minute doing something that sounds like a completely different song. It, for me, sounds like it should be an interlude, but he attaches it to the song. A very slow build before finally the beat comes in. You're like, oh, it's this song that I'm listening to. And when that hook comes in, man, it really lifts me off my feet, and it's so good. You know, looking at the album artwork, he looks like a young guy, but his voice holds a lot of warmth to it, a lot of maturity. He sounds older than he looks, that's for sure. And yeah, while most of these songs aren't really landing that mark with me, check out Understand, check out Blonde. Those two have my stamp of approval. And I do think for this kind of jazzier leaning sound that it just doesn't sink in with me, because I'm looking for the big polished pop rock hooks, plain and simple. But I can admire the smoothness of it, and it's a nice sounding album, and I am surprised to see, this guy has under 1,000 monthlies, and barely anyone's listened to this album. So I think it deserves some ears on it. And let's finish off with Young Rising Suns. If you checked out one of my earlier new alternative music videos, I mentioned these guys released an EP called Young. Now they have an EP called Rising. Guess what their next EP is going to be called? Yep, Suns. It's already out, actually. Just came out recently, and I've figured out what they're doing here. They're re-releasing old songs. I think each EP comes with one brand new song and a couple, 2 or 3, maybe 4 older songs that they've already released, which, okay, I don't know what the whole point of that is. I think they're taking us through their career, which is kind of good for me as a guy who caught on to Young Rising Suns in the past couple of years. So their Young EP, for me, it was all new stuff. But I looked and I'm still, why do these songs have all these streams as if they've been out for a while? And sure enough, yeah, they had been. Same with this group of songs, other than Like Dancing. These are all songs that have been out for a couple of years. Like Dancing is a nice, softer song for them, acoustic backed, and it's fine. It's nothing I would go out of my way to recommend, though. And the other 3 songs, Tomorrow, Out of My Head, Life's a Mess, they're a little more familiar for what I would expect from these guys. Perky, catchy, pretty simple. They don't show the true depth of their sound. These guys have blown me away with a couple of their songs. This ain't it. But the mark they have made on me with their songs Scissors and I Could Die Right Now is enough for me to just tell anyone I can, yo, check out Young Rising Suns. That's gonna do it. Those are the last of the albums from February this year that I wanted to share some thoughts on. You made it to the end. Congratulations. I appreciate you checking this video out. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if any of these albums mean anything to you. If I've brought anything onto your radar that you're interested in checking out, it would mean the world to me. That's why I'm sitting here in front of my phone by myself talking about this music. At the end of the day, though, I do this for myself. It's cleansing for me to get these thoughts off my chest and move on to the next batch of music. And if there's anyone out there who can take anything from it, then that's awesome. But you gotta let me know. So thank you so much for checking this out. I'll see you next time.